So Jax Taylor has broken his silence and he posted something to his Instagram about his time in treatment. And I'm going to read it right now. A little over a month ago, I checked into an intensive inpatient treatment facility, scared of the unknown and what I would find out about myself. After many years of knowing something was wrong, but not knowing exactly what it is, I recently learned that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and PTSD. It's been a lot to process and an emotional time for me. However, I've come home to my son with a newfound sense of peace. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared for the future, but my focus is just trying to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday. Mental health is a lifelong battle of not letting it control you, but rather you learning to control it. Thank you, everyone who has reached out in support and who also shared their own personal struggles with me. Your messages have helped me more than you know. I can see how the bipolar diagnosis came about because, because he has these seemingly manic episodes. You can sort of look at every season and see that I guess he goes through these phases of being. Here's the thing. I need to see this man talking and in action because he can manipulate. And the fact that I'm rewatching season 6 and recapping it is very perfect timing for this. I don't know what it takes to be given the diagnosis of bipolar disorder. It's also a shame because this man has been supposed to be getting the therapy and working on trying to be a better version of himself for 10 years plus. And so the fact that it took this much, he didn't check himself. He had to check in. It was, I can't say any details, but it wasn't like he would have done this in the middle of filming. If he really wanted to do this on his own accord, it probably would have been during the off season when they weren't filming and, for obvious reasons. But I figured when he came out, he would have all of this jargon. And so I'm not saying I hope he suffers and is miserable or anything like that. But he is good at throwing words out there to make it sound like he's working on stuff. And I just don't know. I don't think it doesn't excuse anything. I'm also like, is sociopathy really not on the table here? I don't know. I've known a few people who have been diagnosed as bipolar, and I just I don't see any similarities, but that doesn't mean they're not there. But this man has been saying, my brain is broken for years. He was saying it, I believe, season 8, because season 7 was the wedding, and then season 8 was like they're married, and he was terrible. He was awful to Brittany that season. He kept saying, my brain is broken. My brain is broken. And that was season 8. We're currently, if we do another season of Vanderpump, it'll be season 12. And so that's at least 4 years ago, if not more than that. And he didn't go to check it out until it was basically mandated. And so I don't think that this relieves him of any responsibility. I think that I want to see him in action. Like I said, I want to hear him talk. Because reading something that sounds like we should all be giving sympathy over is like when Gordon from Potomac, didn't he announce that he had bipolar disorder? Didn't that happen at the reunion? Was it a different diagnosis? That seemed sincere. That seemed like it was, I don't know. I don't think that it's a bad thing for him to be able to put a diagnosis to it, but I also fear that this will now become like, well, I got the bipolar disorder. It's the bipolar. So I feel like we're missing a diagnosis. And is that shady to say? Yeah, I'm not a professional. I don't fucking know, but I'm just going to be shady when it comes to Jax. Because now let's get into the episodes of season 6 where he is terrible. It just so happens that these are the episodes that I was covering, and he's horrible. Horrible. So, yeah, let's get into the recaps now. Now, I said recaps, but I feel like I may just do episode 15 because there's a lot of little things in here that happen that are very Jax heavy and Brittany heavy, and I would like to dissect it quite a bit. So we'll see how much I get through. Okay, wait, real quick though. Am I hallucinating, or is the song that they play, like when they're showing, they're going around the city, in the beginning, the song that goes, "Don't get in my way, I'm gonna make it today, don't get it." Do you know did they play that in Summer House too? There are a few songs that transfer over, like I think Real Housewives of Miami and another show. They used this one track that was like a house track that I actually tried to Shazam, but it doesn't even exist. So I know that they use songs across the thing, but I'm like, isn't this, I was associating this with a Summer House song, but it might be a Vanderpump Rules song. Anyways, we're at Sir, and this extremely staged scene kills me. Tom's behind the bar, and Lisa comes in and goes, "Oh, what are you doing here? Aren't you closing tonight?" Bitch, like you would know. And then Tom's like, "Yeah, but I'm working on some cocktails for Tom Tom." And Lisa goes, "Yeah, that's right. Surprise me. Give me something that I haven't tasted before." Tom says, "I think I can do that." And she goes, "Well, if you can't, then I don't know who can." Come on, guys. Come on with this. Get out of here. All right. Lala and Stassi, they go to the venue that they're going to do for her music thing. And Sean 2 and Black Elvis are there. And it appears those are the names that they go by. So I don't want to just blame Lala for that. But she does say, "I call him Black Elvis. I call him Sean 2. I'm like, are those their name? Is that their name or no? Okay. But Stassi talks about what happened with the Ariana and Jeremy thing. And Stassi's going hard on the women always feel guilty when they admit that these things happen and they speak up. And so I will not apologize. But Lala, this is where she starts to play these two sides pretty bad because she was so there for Ariana and knew that would be fucked up to say. But then she just lets Stassi off the hook and is like, "It's because you're a gangster bitch." Okay. All righty. That's embarrassing. All right. Back over at Jax and Brittany's. Jax tells Brittany to get out so that he can do his Reiki. And this man is fucking with her so much. He's like, "It's the highlight of my week when I see her." So, it's something personal. I can't have other distractions. I'm asking nicely. These are the little things that will make our relationship better. And Brittany does not, because the thing with Brittany is if she were to face every single time he spoke to her shitty and acknowledge it the way she should, she'd leave him. So she's in denial. And she's like, "All right, okay, well, have fun, grow," or whatever this does. And so Jax cleans the fucking apartment, tidies up, dusts, gets some waters out, gets fucking croissants out. Get over it. All right, well, then when Kelsey comes in, they cut to one of Jax's confessionals where he's like, "Yeah, it just feels so much better with Kelsey." He goes, "You might want to call her the Jax Whisperer." Uh-huh. You know that this is going to be throwing it in Brittany's face. You know that. This guy is just like someone I worked with and / kind of dated. Just like him. They know how to fuck with you, but they try to play in it. Like, what? No, what? What am I doing? Fuck you. You know that this is going to hurt Brittany's feelings. God. So he tells Kelsey that he's stressed out about the Mexico trip. And so, yeah, I've just been really working out and eating right, And so she goes, "Do you want to go on this trip?" And he goes, it's giving me so much anxiety. And then she goes, then why are you going? I'm like, oh, it's because it's for the show. It's a cast trip. It's a filming thing. Okay. But then Jax tells her about the job offer. I'm putting that in quotes for anyone who's listening. And something I forgot is he tweeted at this time. He tweeted this life-changing phone call this morning. It's like God was shining down on me. Can't wait to share with you guys. Okay, that is some bullshit. No, you did not. Oh God, he loved to do that kind of cryptic posting. But it's not a real job. There's no way it's a real job, okay? This bullshit hockey job. Of course, Kelsey believes him. Why would she not? But then Kelsey gives him these damn stones. And he's like, I'm like, these stones, you're giving him like a prop now. Okay, you're giving him a fucking prop. And she's like, just call or text me while you're there if you need me. Okay. So then Brittany comes home and she tries to ask about the session. And she's like, any breakthroughs or anything? And he goes, it's not about breakthroughs. It's about talking about issues. Her, helping me cope with my issues. I always have the best days when I see her. She's just so, And so Brittany goes, well, what is she doing that I could be doing? She just has a different outlook on life. Okay. She doesn't attack. She talks. You cannot compare how Brittany speaks to you, the person you wronged, to the Reiki healer you're hiring. You psycho. She knows how to get through to me. You need to have patience with me. And Brittany goes, are you trying to say I don't have it? And he goes, just let me talk. Okay, but Brittany, that was what he was trying to say. He was trying to say to you, be like Kelsey, be like the sweet Kelsey. And then he goes, Kelsey calls me Jason. That's the person that I'm trying to find again. And Brittany goes, well, why don't you ever ask me to call you Jason? He goes, certain people like Kelsey, I need her to know the real person. Why Oh, it's like he just mocks her. And you can, it's weird. You can see she knows what he's doing, but she chooses to put it over here. It's like you could see her figuring it out and then just going, okay, we're going to pretend it's not what he really is doing, And so Jax tells her about the job, the friend who offered him this job in Tampa. And he goes, as of right now, there's nothing holding me back. There's nothing here for me. I've been living this Peter Pan lifestyle for just so long. And Brittany makes the grave error of saying, well, I'm ready for you to grow up too. So, and he goes, see? And she goes, no, I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm like, it slipped. It slipped. You want to say these things. She also, this is the chuckle that she starts doing, the chuckle after she says something that she means, but she needs it to have less of an impact because she's afraid to stand in her own power. And I didn't mean it in a bad way. He's like, just say okay. And Brittany actually stands up for her. So she's like, don't tell me how to talk. I will talk how I want to talk. I was like, oh, I didn't expect her to be like that. I expected her to cower. But then Jack says, Kelsey says I need to take care of myself first because I don't ever make time for myself and I don't ever do what I want to do. And this is exactly what I was afraid of when Kelsey first said it. You need to take care of yourself first. I went, you need to know more about a person before you give them this advice. Okay. Because this man, he just cheated on his girlfriend. He just did that. Has he even told Kelsey that? I don't even think he's told her. I never do what I want to do. You literally did. You fucked Faith. When you're so, please, sir. This is what I knew it. I knew Kelsey shouldn't have said that. And here he is. The preventative anti-aging tip that I did not get drilled into me nearly enough when I was in my 20s. Protect your chest area. Protect your décolletage. Moisturize your décolletage. Because by the time I realized I had been neglecting this area, it was too late. And now I've got a reverse damage. So, one of the tricks is moisturize as soon as you get out of the shower or the bath. And Oak Essentials Dew Body Oil has the stuff in it that we need. All of us need it. The Dew Body Oil has borage seed oil. This is the single richest source of gamma linoleic acid, which is shown to significantly improve the health and appearance of skin tissue, as well as effectively reduce the appearance of redness and inflammation. I need that. It's inflamed. Also, organic sesame seed oil, which has vitamin A, vitamin E, also a bunch of other essential fatty acids, also rich in phenolic compounds, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent found to reduce oxidative stress. So that's what we got here if you haven't been protecting it. So protect your skin. Oak Essentials also makes a moisture-rich balm, also to be used right out of the shower or the bath on damp skin for the face. You get it all warmed up and you apply it to your face. It gives you like a glass skin look. So say hello to clean, spa-quality skincare essentials that deliver a moisture-rich glow. My followers will get 15% off their first order when you use code SheSpeaks15 at checkout. That's 15% off your first order at OAKESSENTIALS.com. Promo code SheSpeaks15. Go ahead and treat yourself. Get your best radiant skin this fall with Oak Essentials. Transitioning my wardrobe between seasons is usually quite a challenge for me, but I've been getting a bunch of clothes from Quince the last few months, and their pieces are really timeless, so the transition is not so challenging after all. Like this washable silk top. I've been pairing this with shorts or a little skirt, but for the fall, I'm going to throw on some jeans with it, a little jacket maybe. Oh, it would be so pulled together. Quince also has cashmere sweaters for $50. And the reason Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands is because they partner directly with factories, which cuts out the cost of the middleman, and they pass those savings on to us. And they only use factories that have ethical practices and use the top quality fabrics and finishes. So you know you're going to get something good. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/shespeaks for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/shespeaks to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/shespeaks. Rob goes over to Sheena's, and Sheena is all proud of herself because she's trying to hook up Adam and Brittany. But then Rob goes, well, that's Brittany's choice, though, to stay. And then Sheena's like, I think she forgets that she has a choice. You know, that's why I stayed in my marriage for so long, because I didn't know that, like, and then she like points to Rob, like, that you are here. And then they talk about divorce closet, and they're looking at like logos or something. It was so not meant to work out, period. But she's like, so what is that? What's the partnership? He's like, so I was thinking you would be the face of it, but I have majority equity in the company. And then this bitch goes, sorry, sometimes when you're talking, I just like get lost. Like, what are you saying? And he's like, oh, I'm just talking about how I'm going to completely rip you off and use you for your fame to sell my business. I'll have the equity. Maybe I'll share it with you, but I need you to promote it. That's what I was saying. You didn't hear that though. Yeah. Anywho, then she brings up that she's going to be divorced, I think when they get to Mexico. And then she goes, the next time I'm going to be married will be to you. And he says, wow. Again, don't know if this is editing, just cutting him. Maybe he said, yes, wow. But it looks like he just went, wow. So what I'm thinking is happening here, Sheena, is he isn't willing to have the conversations he's having off camera on camera because he's probably working other women as well. He probably has some other dealings going on, you know? Brittany meets Lisa at the stables. It's very funny because Brittany doesn't even ride this horse. She just walks next to Lisa with the horse. She's like, these horses are a lot bigger than the ones at home. And they show these little mini horses. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but Lisa's like, why are you being so nice to Jax and doing all this like Mexico trip and the drum set and all this stuff? And Brittany goes, I just think a trip would be really good right now. And then in her confessional, Brittany's like, Jax is a different person on vacation. Like when we went to Vegas, whatever. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you even saying, Brittany? Okay, that is the dumb. I'm sorry, you sound real dumb. I'm being savage right now, I know, but you sound real dumb, honestly. And then Brittany tells Lisa about the Reiki. He says it really worked for him and he really likes the therapist. And Lisa figures out real quick, is the therapist a man or a woman? He says it's helping him calm down. So, and then Lisa's like, well, why not regular therapy? Brittany goes, yeah, he went one time. And Lisa just looks at this girl and goes, you've really got to take care of yourself. Like, we are just watching you walk into such a shitstorm. You don't need to do this. What are you doing? Take care of yourself. My God. Okay, the Toms then join Lisa and Nick, Elaine, and Ken. Ken's there on the site, at the site. Lisa's confessional is this. Nick Elaine is definitely a genius with some of the pieces that he makes. I actually find that quite attractive. I do. I have to admit. And then she goes, oh, shame on me. I've been married 35 years. What am I saying? I'm like, oh, shit, that just slipped right out. She basically just confessed that they're totally having an affair. What the fuck was that? Nick's not gay, right? I don't know. But she really loves her Nick Elaine. She really does. The Toms bring drinks for them to try, and Lisa's like, oh, these are so good, and whatever. That's the end of that scene. Now they're in Mexico. Let's fast forward. They get to Mexico. Jax and Brittany have the sickest room. They've got their own pool. And this is the moment where I realize Jax has no respect for Brittany, for sure, because of all the shit that she's doing after he cheated. I think it's his confessional. He's like, wow, that's just Brittany's really gone above and beyond. I can tell it's like, this is not, even he's like, really? Like, you, okay. Because what is this teaching him? I can go ahead and just keep being a horrible person and she won't leave. And at the end of, maybe it's not this episode, it might be the next episode. He says a line that really stands out. I'll get to it when it comes up, but yeah. James is so happy to be included. He's like, I wasn't even invited on this trip last time. It's actually sweet how shamelessly he's excited. Hey, he's like, yeah, I don't care if it makes me look like a loser. I'm so happy that I'm here. Thank you guys for including me. It's that endearing side of James. Then Jax and Brittany are in their personal pool later, hanging out. And Jax is like, I'm in good spirits. I feel better. It had a little to do with Kelsey, I think. Kelsey helps me with that shit. And Brittany, who has got this fucking room, has hooked him up so much, planned all this shit, is like, okay. Okay, cool. He can't even thank her. He barely thanks her for this trip. And then Brittany goes, well, anywhere here on these balconies, you can meditate and do whatever. He's like, yeah, I know. And then she just goes, I love you, honey. And he's like, I love you too. God. Brittany, it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed. Over and over again. Stassi and Kristen, they are not off to a great start. Stassi had already expressed concern rooming with Kristen. And it's already not going great. Stassi's like, I want to be able to go to sleep at 2 a.m. You could tell Kristen's like, Kristen's not listening at all. She's already drunk. We find out later that she's just been drinking basically since they woke up and has not stopped. So she's like, what? But then Stassi goes, remember the last time we were here? The last time we were here, you were crying on the balcony, smoking cigarettes about Tom Sandoval, which is just truly iconic TV. She was she was pouring herself champagne flutes full of tequila and smoking cigarettes and crying. That's what you did last time. And then at the end of that trip, she ends up back in bed with Tom Sandoval. So As Brittany gets ready in the bathroom for their evening festivities, Jax comes in and he goes, yeah, I'm probably going to tell the Toms about this job because I'm 95% going to take it. And Brittany goes, oh, okay, well, you haven't really talked to me about this. And he's like, I thought you knew about this already. What do you want to stay for? You can't say friends because we're not children. And Brittany goes, okay, I know, but I do love my friends. And Jax's nostrils flare and his eyes get wide. And he's like, friends don't pay the bills. But the show you're on does, Jax. So what the fuck are you going to do? The show that you're on does pay the bills. So how are you going to film this show and be on this here Vanderpump Rules and be in Florida? Not going to happen. Brittany's like, we've been through a lot and it's a lot to think about. It's not an overnight decision. And he goes, for you. And Jackson goes, what, you want me just to sit here? You want to sit here and be a bartender? No, you're also on a show, but okay. And Brittany goes, no, but you just decided without talking to me. And he goes, I'm talking to you right now. Fuck off. I'm talking to you right now. No, because you just came in here and said you're 95% sure you're going to go. And now you're telling me about it. This is not you talking to me about it. You're not even factoring. He's like, you're going to make me turn down my dream job? Sir. Brittany goes, well, I also had a dream of being 100% loved and not cheated on. And Jax goes, oh, fucking Christ almighty. Which all this is like, yeah, Brittany, you should not be with him. Because look at Shannon and David. They went through that really intense retreat therapy thing. When someone cheats and they decide to stay together, the person who cheats has to deal with a lot, because that's like, either break up or don't be open to that, because that's the difference. Is if that person is willing to sit with it and hold your hand and be there for you during your grief from the cheating, fine. Jax isn't willing to do any of that. Jax wants her to shut the fuck up about it. And she needs to just leave. That's why everyone's like, what are you doing? Okay. Oh my God, there's the most cringe scene back at Sir, because they have to give Lisa a scene. And she goes into the bar and Adam is like, hey, I want to be considered to be a bartender. So she's like, all right, make me a mojito. And he can't even do it. I'm like, why would you set yourself up to be embarrassed like this on camera, bro? How mortifying. Anyway, back in Mexico, they go to dinner and Sheena's like, I'm officially divorced. And then she begins her Rob chatter. And I love Stassi shamelessly hating it. Like, kill me. And it's the same. She will do this the next night in Mexico. It's the same thing. He hung a TV. He hitched something to my car. It's like, oh my God. But anyways, Jax pulls the Toms to talk. It's so sad. Jax pulls the Toms and James looks sad. He's like, oh, what are you guys doing? He's all sad not to be invited. Okay, so Jax tells the Toms about the, quote, job opportunity in social media and marketing in Tampa. They have a whole moment where they pretend this is real. The Toms are just completely like, what? You're not going to be my roommate, or you're not going to be my neighbor, or whatever. And Jax, Jax does admit, he's like, you guys doing the bar? Yeah, I'm a little jealous. And like, what am I doing? And he goes, I need to have something in my life, you guys. I'm 40 years old. And they go, don't say that. Never say you're 40. Don't say that about yourself. Don't ever say that again. You're not 40. Not like you have something in your life. No. Don't say you're 40. All right. Well, meanwhile, back with the girls and James and Peter, actually. Although, where is Peter? Brittany's telling the girls about the Tampa job. And Kristen, Stassi, and Katie are immediately like, is this even real? Like, don't even. Katie's like, he had a sweater line, which I forgot about. He had a fitness app. Like, this isn't a real job. The girls are just ready to pounce. But Sheena, because she's coming off of what Rob said, she's like, but if she's still in love with someone, she's still in love with someone. And Katie goes, weren't you just trying to hook her up with the new bartender at Sir? And Ariana steps in for Sheena per usual. And she's like, her intention was just like, oh, let's get her out there and like see what else is going on. James then chimes in and he goes, oh, you think she wants to hear that? That's rude. And he's like, Jax is going to be so pissed. They forgot James was there and that James is now cool with Jax and would go tell Jax. Like, they totally didn't factor that in. But then enter Jax. The food gets there and Ariana goes, so Tampa, what's up? And Ariana and Sheena, they're like, okay, what is the job exactly? And this is what Jax says. Events and stuff like that. And social media too. So Stassi in her confessional is like, he can't tell us the position title or any other details. Yeah, this isn't a real thing. This was a fucking test. That's all it is. So then Ariana goes, okay, the reason I ask is because whatever you decide, I want to make sure Brittany is still able to do what she wants to do. And then Carter asks, oh yeah, Brittany, what is it you want to do? And Jax goes, yeah, what is it? And the way Brittany looks at him is like, what have I always said I want to go to school for? Jax says, animals. She just keeps trying. She's like, I did it all through high school. And Sheena goes, we all know. And Jax goes, okay, what? Brittany's like, you don't remember? No. At all? No. Brittany keeps giving him hints. Kristen's chiming in to try and help. And he goes, I'm sorry. Am I having this conversation with Brittany or with... And they're just like, oh, it's like that. That's where we are right now. And Lala goes, well, you're sitting here looking like a real dummy. Been with her for 2 years and you don't know. And so Brittany finally is like, I wanted to work with special needs kids, mental disabilities. He's like, okay. And Lala's like, you are no longer a single man. This is a partnership. And Jax goes, don't talk to me like that. I'm like, uh-oh, it's on. Lala's like, I've watched you disrespect people over and over again, and I've had enough. Respect her. And he goes, I don't even know you well enough to say this about me. Thank you for the reminder flashbacks. Because, sir, you were like trying to fuck her. And yeah, I don't even, please. All right. Kristen then joins in though. And Jax goes into you're not perfect. You're not perfect. You can't say anything. Jax also loves saying no one knows what goes on behind closed doors. So no one can talk about this relationship. It doesn't matter what goes on behind closed doors because what you do outside of those doors is so fucked up. You can't possibly be making up for it because it's bad what you're doing. Period. What goes on behind closed doors, enlighten us. What does? Okay. Now Stassi's in it and she's like, fuck you, whatever. And Sandoval's like, hey, let's pump the brakes a little bit. And Stassi goes, every time I walk past your apartment, I hear how you talk to her. And then Tom Winnick goes, every time. It's a little inappropriate, okay? You're his ex-girlfriend. And Kristen goes, I'm sorry, I thought you were Brittany's friend. Tom goes into the most Tom of all Tom things. He goes, I'm sorry, I just found out my friend is going to be moving across the country. They're like, okay, poor Tom. Right now, Tom is oh, yeah, you feel bad. Shut the fuck up, Tom. Okay, no wonder Stassi, Kristen, and Katie were hated by Ariana too, because they also went after Tom. Okay. It wasn't until Ariana started being like, yeah, you kind of deserve it, Tom, where that friendship was able to form. But then Stassi, Kristen, and Lala walk away. And Jax just goes, that took about 10 minutes into this trip. Actually, it wasn't. You guys had a whole day. It's not true. But that's fine. But fuck Jax. Do you see what I'm saying? This guy isn't... This is so intentional. The lying and the whatever, it's so intentional. I feel like PTSD and bipolar disorder is just scratching the surface. Sorry, I know that's really fucked up, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that. But I am done. Jax doesn't deserve. Here's the thing about Jax: he's so fascinating because he's so disturbed. It's not a simple diagnosis, and if you, I highly doubt Jax will stay taking the bipolar medication. Most people with bipolar disorder hate taking the medication, and I can guarantee Jax is going to be like, I'm not taking this shit. I also do not think Jax is going to stay sober. I don't think he's going to start drinking. I need to see it in action. Okay. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do episode 16 next week because that was good and juicy. But okay, I love you guys. Mean it. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks. This show is produced, hosted, and edited by me, Emily, and brought to you in partnership with Cloud 10 Media. If you are looking for bonus content, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. To show some support, you can hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Another free way to support the pod, please rate and/or review on whatever platform you listen. It's free, and it helps the algorithm or something. You could also head to buymeacoffee.com/shespeaks and buy me a coffee or two. Make sure you're following me on all social medias. I am She's Speaking with Emily Hanks across all platforms: Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That's it. Thank you guys. See you soon.